This year is the 130th Boston Marathon, so we stopped by to check out how much people know about the race's history. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about the history of the marathon. Are you ready?
No. Okay, go ahead.
I'm Lilia Cormack, and this is the Frame by Frame.
Because the marathon has been going on for so long, it really helps us track big milestones that have happened throughout time and history. In 1896, it was the inaugural Olympics in modern times. So it took place in Athens, Greece. Everyone was gathering around for the first time in modern history for the Olympics, what would become the Summer Olympics. And one of the most popular sports was actually the marathon.
The revival of the Olympic Games and the creation of the marathon happened to coincide with a larger trend taking over the United States during the 1800s.
For a lot of Western societies, there was this revivalist interest in both classics and ancient civilizations, and Greece was one of them.
One ancient Greek legend in particular happened to gain significant popularity at the time.
The idea of the marathon was actually inspired by the Battle of Marathon in 490 BCE, when Philippides or Phidippides ran from Marathon to Athens, Greece to announce the victory of Greece over Persia, supposedly.
Over 2,000 years later, at the 1896 Olympics, the marathon was created to honor the original journey of Philippides. The Boston Athletic Association, having sent a significant number of athletes to the Games, decided to bring that race home.
Do you know what the world's oldest annual marathon is?
The world?
Yeah.
Gotta be in Athens. Oldest annual marathon.
Boy, let's go with Boston.
Is it the Boston Marathon?
Yeah.
So the Boston Marathon is considered the world's oldest annual marathon. That's a huge deal.
Do you know the first year the Boston Marathon took place?
1886? I don't know, 18 something.
I'll say like 1906.
I'll
say 1950.
1887?
1897 or something like that.
Spot on, you got that. Nice.
So in 1897, members of the BAA decided, let's establish a marathon here in Boston.
You're close. 1897.
97?
Do you have the pin for that on your hat?
No, I didn't volunteer at that one. Yeah.
Every year since 1897, the marathon has taken place on Patriots' Day, which was a very intentional decision.
The organizers, or the BAA, wanted to link it to this idea of the race for liberty and race for freedom, which you can see also ties into that really old story about the Battle of Marathon and racing to deliver news of the victory of the Battle of Marathon. So from the very beginning, Patriots' Day, or that mid-April date, was chosen because it coincided with the Battle of Lexington and Concord that started the American Revolution.
And just as Patriots' Day has been a part of this tradition from the very beginning, so has Framingham.
So in the late 1890s, just as the Boston Marathon was gaining some interest, Framingham was really growing. So in the late 1800s, we see that the railroad has already been established for about half a century at this point. There's a lot of industry, there are a lot of factories. Denison has just moved in and they're ramping up production. So there was a lot of energy and excitement and growth in Framingham, and that coincided perfectly with the establishment of the Boston Marathon coming right through downtown Framingham.
The marathon's historic course still runs right down Waverly Street to this day, but the race itself has evolved substantially over the last 130 years.
How many people ran the first Boston Marathon?
I'm gonna say maybe 50 to 100.
Let's go with 100.
25.
A couple thousand.
I'll go really low. 100.
Probably around 20.
100.
A little bit lower.
75.
A lot a bit lower, actually.
Wait.
It was actually 15.
It actually started with around 15 men running, only 10 of whom completed the course. And again, that's a great rate, but it's not the same marathon that we kind of see today.
Do you know how many people run it today?
Thousands.
Yeah, 30,000.
30,000.
So we've grown a little bit over the years. Just a little bit, tad.
Not only are there more participants today, they now represent a wider array of gender identities and abilities. That's thanks to a few trailblazers that have contributed to Boston's storied legacy of inclusion.
I think one of the most interesting things about the Boston Marathon is it has grown so much. There are so many divisions for people to take a part of. It actually really helps us follow social history as well.
In 1966, Roberta Bobby Gibb snuck onto the course after hiding in some bushes at the start line. She became the first woman to complete a marathon when she crossed the finish line on Boylston Street. A year later, in 1967, Catherine Switzer followed as the first woman to run with an official bib, registering under her initials KV. A race official named Jock Semple infamously tried to pull her off the course around the 2-mile mark, but she finished anyway.
I was in that race.
What?
And I was also illegal because I was in high school. It's Jock Semple, who's the person who pulled Kathy Switzer. He pulled her off the course.
Yeah.
He was trying to get me off of the bus. So
Oh
it wasn't
my
just
God.
it wasn't just a gender thing. He was a stickler for rules.
In 1972, Boston became the first marathon to officially establish a women's division. And just a few years later, yet another boundary was broken.
So in 1975, Boston Marathon became the first official major marathon to have a wheelchair division, and Bob Hall was the first wheelchair competitor.
Throughout the Boston Marathon's 130-year legacy, Framingham's Waverly Street has served as a front row seat to history and a backdrop for some of the community's most cherished memories.
It's great.
As a kid with my father all the
Yeah?
time.
Can you set the scene for us? Like, as a kid, what was the marathon like?
From a kid's perspective, it was very fast because there were so few people running.
101 long-distance runners compete in the 50th annual marathon race of over 26 miles at Boston in the United States.
Come right here, this spot. So I always come every year to this spot. And as a kid, you know, you'd see legs, a lot of legs as they go by, and then they'd be gone. But it was an event I did with my dad, and I always loved it.
Through the suburbs of Boston, the runners make their way.
Being from the community, I can remember being a child going to this marathon, and the excitement is the same every single year. I think there's just really something special about running this marathon. Like, it's not the easiest course, it's not always like the fastest day, but there's something really unique and historic about being a part of the legacy here.